Hey, how's it going?
All right, mate. Sorry, I couldn't get into the meeting.
Oh, no worries. I'm glad you things were able to work out and we're able to do this interview.
Yeah, man, we're good to go. Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. It's great to be able to talk to you and be able to talk about a lot of great things that are happening this year and coming up next year as well too for Malevolence. I mean, it's really awesome to see the year that you guys have had so far.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year. I've got to do a lot of cool shit. Very still kind of playing catch up a little bit on it all. We've played some of the biggest shows we've ever done in the last year, and yeah, very grateful for all the opportunities we've been given so far.
And it's well deserved too. I mean, especially with the new album, it's great to see, just like earlier in the year with it coming out and just like seeing the great rapport that you guys have been able to build up with that. And, the fact that I've seen like so many people raving about this album and the amazing tours that are being lined up as well for that as well too. I mean, the fact that you got to do so many this year already and then everything that's going on like right now and everything coming up next year as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like we start the Jinjer tour, our US tour. I'm in North Carolina now. We start that tour tomorrow. And it's our first time back in the States since 2016. So it's pretty sick. I'm glad to be back. And yeah, excited to see what the show's going to be like because it's been a long time.
Oh, totally. And just like seeing the evolution of the band in that time as well, too, especially since 2016, just like seeing how you guys have improved and, just everything that's happened in that time. I mean, especially with with Malicious Intent and just like seeing the songwriting, the production, the musicianship, everything is going so much stronger with the band right now. And, with the fact that you guys are going to be starting this tour tomorrow with such great names like Jinjer and P.O.D, just being able to showcase something different on that tour and being able to make that tour every night. It's a really well-rounded, great night for hard rock and music.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward to showing everyone what we're capable of, and what we've like what we're renowned for. We've always been a band that enjoys playing live shows, and we always bring the energy. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So with that in mind, I mean, obviously with again, like being able to promote this album in that live setting, getting to do some great shows earlier this year, starting tomorrow with the US tour, an amazing European tour coming up next year. I mean, like how does it feel, like being able to get back on stage and being able to tour again, especially with everything that's happened over the past couple of years?
Um, Great. I mean, it was hard having a couple of years off, obviously with COVID. It was a definitely felt it like in our camp, and it was quite tough not being able to have that like outlet, that you get with the live shows. So to be able to be put back playing shows and playing to new people and to bigger crowds is brilliant. Really grateful and excited to see what else is coming up over the next year or so. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned, new music, new tours, and I just want to keep doing it. It's made me have a new appreciation for it all for sure.
Oh, and it's so great to hear that too. I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, like with a couple years, it's just like we didn't know what was going on, and now things are slowly but surely getting back to normal. The fact that you guys are able to come back over here to the States now and being able to hit some touring with a great lineup, and then being able to go back over to Europe next year with a great lineup as well too. And it's great to see that the device diverse tours that you guys are able to be a part of as well too. I mean, especially from what I've noticed over the years, and especially now with the new album and everything, being able to show more of the range of the band. It's great to see that you're able to work so well together with all these different kinds of bands for touring. That way, you don't have to turn anything down.
Yeah, I think we're quite fortunate that we're a band that can slot on a range of tours, and whether it be hardcore, whether it be metal, whether it be metalcore, whatever it, we can. I think we can sit well on a lineup and hold our own amongst pretty much most bands. So, um, but I like us having that ability, because it means you get to play to new people, people that wouldn't necessarily have heard you. So yeah, it's exciting.
Oh, for sure. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate most about the new album is the diversity that's going on throughout the album too. I mean, obviously it's still grounded. It still has that great core sound of what the band has always been, but being able to spread your musical wings a little bit more and being able to mess with the tempos, being able to do a little bit of genre bending and, just like you mentioned, like being able to tour with all these different bands, whether it's hardcore, metalcore, metal, whatever the case is, it's just like you're starting to be able to show off all these different songs. So when the opportunities arise, you're able to play a good set and really be able to showcase who you are and being able to hit so many different kinds of people that you wouldn't normally hit.
Yeah, and I think with our music, we draw so many different influences from all of the genres that we like that I think that translates well in our music, and we've kind of tried to refine our sound with the last album, Malicious Intent, so that we can draw from all these inspirations and create our own kind of sound, which is still heavy metal, but it's if you hear it, that it's Malevolence straight away. So yeah, that's one thing that we do try and pride ourselves on is like trying to have our own sound, having our own kind of doing our own thing, and not necessarily just trying to follow the path of being a metal band or being a hardcore band or being whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I noticed that right away. Like the more that I listen to the album and I'm able to hear all these different moments that are going on between it, it's great to see that appreciation for different styles, but still maintaining your own sound. And I imagine that's just going to keep happening as well too. I mean, now that you know that, especially with this album, the appreciation from the fans, seeing you being able to spread your wings a little bit more, I imagine that could happen in the future as well too when the next writing cycle comes along.
Yeah, I mean, when we're always going to try and better ourselves and better our put like make improvements like on the last record that we put out, whatever it may be. And we're always a band that's just going to constantly keep trying to outdo ourselves. And we've actually just finished recording the vocals for our next project this week. So we're definitely going to try and keep the ball rolling. And we've learned our lessons in the past with having like 3-year gaps in between releases, and obviously it doesn't work. So we need to kind of stay on top of it, keep releasing new music, but also we're never going to be a band that churns out an album every 2 years. It's not our style. We're our own worst critics. So we like things to be perfect. And yeah, it's just one of them things where if we're not happy with it, then we won't release it. So we'll grind and grind until things are right. But also we've learned the lessons that we need to keep focused on the writing any time that we get, well, any chance that we get.
Oh, of course. And of course, the live shows as well, too. I mean, it's so important to be able to promote the album as well, too. And the fact that, again, it's just like we're in that phase right now where you're able to release an album and be able to tour behind it now. And it's so great to see that that's happening. And I'm very excited to see what songs are going to be played for this set coming up because, again, it's like it's already a diverse bill when you look at Jinjer and P.O.D. But I'm very excited to see what you guys are going to be playing on this set.
Yeah, it's we've only got like 30 minutes on this tour, so it was a case of which of the hits do we want to include, and then we had to make a bit of compromise and maybe drop some of the older ones, but we're all the heavy hitters are in there for sure. And it is the diversity of our set is kind of mirrored in the diversity of the lineup of the tour as well. So yeah, you're gonna hear all the big hits for sure.
Oh, definitely. And, thinking about that as well, too. I mean, obviously, with it's so great being able to be on a tour like this, like, like next year with the tour that's coming up as well, too, being able to see the bands that you guys are going to be opening for on that. I mean, that's so cool to see that you're able to go from a tour like this to a tour like that next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the Trivium tour as well. Like we're playing to new people that we haven't played to in a while and playing new places that we haven't been in a while. So, it's an opportunity for the people that in them places to hear the new material live. and for us to put on a show, and we'll always bring the energy that people associate with the Malevolence live show to every event that we play. So it's going to be exciting for sure.
So thinking about that as well too, I mean, obviously, again, just like everything that's happened over the last couple of years, being able to jump on these tours like this, and of course with a new album, I mean, what is it like for this cycle right now? Like being able to present like the stage show and being able to get back up to everything. I mean, what was that like to be able to start getting your feet wet with that again, being able to play these shows again for the new album cycle?
It's been sick. So we started thinking a lot more in the last couple of years about the actual like sound of the show, and trying to get a consistent sound across every single show. Spending more money on like equipment and gear, and just really refining the live sound so that it's consistently in your face, aggressive every single night. And it's a bit difficult when you're only doing like half an hour, because you don't get to bring your whole kind of stage show. But anytime we've done like a headline show this last year, we've been able to, like think about like the layout of the stage, how things look aesthetically, how we want to structure the set. So it's been fun. It's been like a good chance for us to get creative and like think about how the set flows as a whole, and like where the energy points are, where we want to have like a little bit of a breather and slow things down and pick things up again. So, anytime we get the opportunity to do that, we thrive really.
So thinking about that, I mean, did it take a while to be able to figure out where to be able to hit all those points when you're doing like a headlining show, or were you able to map that out in rehearsal, or how did that go about?
Um, we kind of we plan it out in rehearsal, but I feel like we as a band are quite good at piecing things together and how we want the whole thing to flow. And we obviously have like certain songs where we know what we want to play on Broken Glass towards the end of the set because it's such a highlight of the set, or we know halfway through that we're gonna play Self Supremacy because that's when the energy's at the peak and people are most excited. So we want to get a big circle bit going. It's I think we're quite good at kind of piecing together a strong set that demonstrates everything that we're capable of.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's so cool to see that too. I mean, especially when you got a new album and you're able to change up the set list a little bit, and especially when you're doing the headlining shows and you're able to hit all those points. But I just imagine with like with a half hour set, it's just like as soon as you're really starting to get into it, you have to get off stage because the half hour's already done. But in that time, I know that you're going to be spending every second of it and making the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's half an hour to show a whole new crowd what you're capable of. A lot of people might not have heard you before, so you need to give them like the highlights and give them your best every single night.
So thinking about that as well too, I mean, obviously again with the new album, the new touring and everything, just like being able to get everything rolling. I mean, how do you feel like, especially over the last couple of years, like since COVID and everything, like what have you learned, or where have you feel like you've improved the most in recent times?
I feel like my music writing ability has got better. I've got thinking more in terms of like the content of the lyrics. I've kind of took us the mindset that I don't really want to write songs that are just kind of wishy-washy lyrics that don't have any meaning. I want to write songs that resonate with people and that people can either take something away with them, or it can be whether that be uplifting or like the idea that you of self-reflection or whatever it may be. I feel like I've got better at that. And obviously, when it comes to touring as well, just having like a newfound appreciation for the things that we maybe took a little bit for granted before, like touring and to all these like new places or like places that we get to play a lot, and maybe just not being that guy that, just takes it all for granted. Makes you very grateful for what you get, the opportunities that you get given. Yeah.
And it's so great to hear that too, because we're all susceptible to that. I mean, especially when you can take things for granted and things can be taken away from you for one reason or another. But when you're able to realize that and you're able to find that newfound appreciation and you're able to better yourself, whether it's writing new music, writing new lyrics, tour life, whatever the case is, to be able to improve yourself and be able to appreciate what you have and being able to experience everything that you're going to be experiencing here starting tomorrow and next year, being able to tour with Trivium and everything that comes along with that too, being able to hit all these different audiences and new places, new venues, new everything, and just being able to appreciate that. I'm glad you can see that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, you mentioned before that you just got done recording vocals for a new thing to look forward to with the band. I mean, is it anything that you can go into detail about, or is it something that we got to wait for, or how's that going?
So it's not up to us basically when it's going to be announced, but I'm hoping that it won't be too long. But yeah, I can't say too much about it at the minute. But I think it'll be a little surprise for the people who've been following the band for a while, and hopefully we'll bring a new crowd in as well. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it because there's a little bit of fun in there as well. So yeah, should be cool.
Oh, I'm very excited to see the announcement when that comes out and when everything does come out with that too. I mean, I can see that you are really happy about that, and that's got me excited too because it's just like as much as I love everything that's going on with the new album and everything, it's like I'm very excited to see where everything is going to be going from here, and the fact I can see a smile on your face when you're talking about what will be coming up hopefully soon. It's just that's got me excited. That's so cool.
Sick, man. Yeah, no, I'm glad you're excited.
Oh, totally. So, along with that, I mean, obviously being able to close out 2022 on an awesome way here in the States, and then over in 2023 being able to do an awesome tour. Is there any other plans that are coming up as well?
So we've got a festival season next year is looking crazy. We're doing a lot of European festivals. We're going to be back. We'll be back in the US next year for sure. Um, and I'm just trying to remember what is announced and what isn't. So yeah, we're basically next year is very busy for us. We're almost at the point where we're fully booked. So um, I think some people can expect a headline tour next year. Back in the US, back in Australia, back across Europe for the festival season. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy one for sure. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's so great to hear, and I'm glad to see that you guys are gonna be coming back next year too. I know it's only a handful of dates right now for this current tour starting tomorrow, but knowing that you're going to be coming back and hitting some other territories over here in the States, that's so great to see that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nice. We it's been since we didn't play the US since 2016, so we're excited to like make the most of it now and really try and come and play over here in the US as much as possible.
Oh, so great to hear that. And again, it's just like when you got a killer new album and new material to look forward to on the horizon, and then just being able to appreciate this touring cycle as much as you can, and knowing that you are almost completely booked up. I mean, that says a lot to the potential of the band, and just like how well the album's being received and the diversity of the tours that you're able to be on. I mean, that's so cool to see that whether you're doing headlining or a 30-minute set, that you're able to adapt to those situations and just be able to put on a killer show no matter what happens.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think with that, I think that's a great note to end on. And I thank you so very much for taking the time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on with Malevolence. And of course, Malicious Intent available now through Nuclear Blast. Tour starting tomorrow over here in the USA with Jinjer and P.O.D. It's so cool to see that you guys are a part of that. And then, of course, next year being able to open up for Trivium on an awesome, gigantic tour with that. And so much to look forward to in the future, both with new things that you just got done recording and touring and all that good stuff coming up in 2023. And I thank you for taking time to be able to talk to me in your busy schedule. It's awesome to be able to talk to you.
No worries, man. I appreciate you having me. Really do.